do believe it's working. Please stand by. The show will begin shortly. All right. Big old blank screen. It's okay. We're going to build it as we go. Here's here's pretty much all the sources I'll be using other than graphics and stuff. But I said this was going to be an introduction, so how about I start introducing? All right. Well, I'm Robert J. Morris. This is EPG Tech Stream, and what I wanted to do was, as we progress here at Echelon Publishers Group, we're trying to build a publishing company, and as we're building into it, we've had our server now for about a year and a half in Iceland, and now we've picked up like a reseller account and a few other things for hosting and domains to keep it kind of separate from that server, and giving us some options, as well as giving us the ability to be a domain registrar and to sell hosting space. And in order to promote such services that we're offering now, and I'm very pleased that we can offer it now, by the way, figured I'd do a tech show, show you what I pretty much just do on a constant basis. It's always something. It's never the same thing, like twice in a row, because I get sick of things very easily. What I like to do is I'll have about 8 or 9 things on the go at the same time, because even then, when I procrastinate, I'm still getting something done. I'd like to think that works, but it's kind of a crapshoot either way. But anyway, so what is this little wee journey we're talking about here? I don't know. I have a few things on my list that I wanted to have a look at today. Um, as soon as I hit the button to go live, it looks like I'm a little bit quiet. I'm sorry, guys. Let me beef that up a touch. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis, siete. Yeah, okay, it works. Blah. Siete, ocho, nuevo. Sorry, I was My brain went on pause. I kind of stopped myself. You guys, I thought I could only count to six, eh? Anyway, all right. Let's see what we're doing here. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so one of the things that's really been pissing me off lately is I can't seem to get two DSLR cameras to work. So this boy here, um, that's you see moving here. That's my Canon T2i. Last year, I was actually able to upgrade and buy another camera. My first, my first brand new higher end camera, and I grabbed a Canon T7i brand new in a store. And I was like, oh my God, it has that new camera smell. I've never experienced this before. I always buy shit used. I almost never buy stuff new because, you know, it's just going to get used. Most people don't use things anyway. Like, like they say used, it's like probably used once or twice and sat away. Probably worse for it, sitting, getting dust collected and sitting with moisture and other stupid things. And, and the rats and the cockroaches. No, I'm just joking. It's not Hamilton. I know. Um, but let's see what we got here. I'm hoping I'm not clipping. I'm going into the yellow area. I don't know if it clips when I'm doing that. Um, I highly doubt that there's anyone in the chat yet, but we'll see. Um, One thing I wanted to crack into is pipe wire. Now, if you guys are wondering what it is that I'm rocking here, what I'll do is I'll throw you what I'm rocking right here. So my system is running Manjaro Linux. That's the CPU's an AMD Ryzen 5 3400G. I got the Radeon Vega graphics built into the APU, and it's a pretty damn good CPU. And it's old, but still rocks the house. Um, that's on MSI motherboard. Unintentionally, I happen to have my two main computers are both MSI now. And graphics, yes, I went and I got an RTX 2060. That was last year, and probably the best choice I made for this thing because it just gives me so many options for streaming with NVENC technology and a lot of the API tools that you can use within the GPU for streaming specifically, and things like noise cancellation and echo cancellation and a whole lot of other things. But it's very effective, and I just happen to be having money in the right place in the right time, and I was like, yes, I'm doing this now before I don't have anything. Like now. But I digress. You know what? That peaked, and that bet you that clipped. So I'm bringing that down a touch, just a hair. And where should I be turning that up then? Oh, you know what? If I turn up there, it's going to be bad because it goes above the right. Okay, so keep it there to around zero and adjust it here. There we go. Yeah, that's where you want to do the adjustments. I'll get it right. Don't worry. It often doesn't get saved when you're doing stuff, so I often just don't save it on the way out, so it doesn't keep those settings. All right, let's see here. Now, just to explain some of these other wacky ass screens, let's see what we got going on. And where's the hard info there? Go through here. It's pretty basic. The operating system, I'm running Linux. It's Manjaro Linux, which is basically it's an Arch distribution. I'm running a real-time kernel. Now, I don't know that I should be if I'm doing streaming, but because audio is a component and I like to use the real-time kernel for the audio component, it's probably the reason for all of my problems. And go ahead, let me know if I'm right, because it's probably the case. But I mean, I do actually do music recording. I do MIDI and a bunch of other stuff. And when the time comes that I do that, I want it to work well and in real time. So that's that. And I will be doing some of that with some of this. And, I kind of often dabble back and forth and do stuff. We might even fire up video games, during this stream. Who knows? But like I was saying, though, the intention of tonight is kind of an introduction to what it is that EPG is trying to accomplish right now. We're an official team of two. I have a business partner in Ontario, Canada, and she runs a printing company called Dragon Queen Design and Print Solutions, and she's she's my ace boon. She's awesome. Uh, yeah, we're just struggling away trying to start up a business in the worst possible time in human history to start a business. But yeah, I mean, not only are all our customers dying, but world wants to blow itself up apparently now. So I mean, hey, it is what it is. But we're not here to talk about that stuff because we do that on our other show, and we have another show called Off the Rails, which is pretty much what we do all the time. We're just like off the rails, changing the subject matter no matter what anyway. So these shows all kind of morph into one. We actually morphed our Off the Rails show into the True Thirst podcast and the Daily Neuterino and just did one show because we're lazy sons of bitches. But hey, what can you do, right? But just so that everyone is aware, we are currently let's see your destinations. Yeah, we're currently streaming to YouTube, Tromo, Twitch, D Live, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Rumble, and Odyssey. So you'll be able to catch us in those places. We're basically spreading our wings now. We're trying to get out there. And we figured by doing a tech-based podcast it would add a bit of value to the source material, to the content itself, and then also show hopefully a little bit of I guess you could say nuance and skill. Yeah, there's a word for you. No, no, basically, I want to like kind of give back, give a little bit of value back because I mean, most of the things that I've learned over the last 40 years, it has been basically from other people's, forums and places where people talk about, where they have a dialogue about the mistakes that they've made, the computers that have exploded, the puppies that died because the computers exploded, all of those things. But yeah, that's what I figured, and it's not hard for me to do because I'll just do what I normally do anyway, and I'll just be live while I do it. Now, granted, there will be some things that I won't be able to visually show you because I can't reveal certain things. I don't care about things like IP addresses personally because I don't have internal IP addresses that we're really using. They're already external and they can be easily found. But things like passwords, some cases, directory structures could give away information about where certain files could be located. And what I'd rather do is not entice people to come in and check it out. But it's probably what's going to happen anyway. However, yeah, it is what it is. Now, we have, let's see here. I'm going to go back over to the chat, just see if anything's happening there. Probably not. It's 11:41 here, actually, on the Pacific West Coast of British Columbia, Canada. And I'm actually in Kelowna, which is in the interior. I'm not even on the coast. I'm up in the mountains looking down on all of you. So all these windows here, I'll give a brief explanation. I figured I kind of crack these into the sources first, and then that way, A, I know that they're loaded in. B, I know that they're loaded in and they're assigned, so I can just easily pull them up. I don't have to worry about them initializing or anything. But so on the right, we have basically our cameras. I've got basically a little GoPro. I call it a faux pro because it's a Chinese knockoff of a GoPro, but it's basically an action cam. This is the Logitech C922. Is that right? C922? Yeah, something like that. Anyway, yeah, it's your typical run of the mill $100 Logitech camera, and this, of course, is the my ancient ages old Canon T2i up here. Oh wait, you can't see it changing color. I can. If I did this, you would just see that until I took out the blocked out bit. Black hole. And then, yeah, it's not going to do any good because I have to switch the scene anyway to go back to the other fucking thing. But, so I'm going to go through some of the windows and what they are. So Ray Session is basically a tool for Pipewire, which is basically kind of the sound routing application or management system. And it works, the way Pipewire works is it basically opens up channels to source devices from sync devices, or sorry, to sync devices from source devices. And what that means basically is mumbo jumbo for, you have a node which has, let's say, an input node for, or sorry, an output node from, let's say, a program that's gonna play music like YouTube, like, or sorry, like your Firefox browser or Chrome, and its output will be the stream, and it will connect to another node, which would be a sync, which is usually a thing that produces the sound for you to hear with your ear holes. So, in this particular case, if we were to kind of come on in, you see PCM 2900C audio codec analog stereo. That's the device name for this guy right here, for my not for the actual microphone, but for the mixer, not this mixer that's right here in front of me that you can see in. Oops, where's that damn thing? My mouse disappeared. If you look over here, this mixer is actually offline. It's just sitting there. I'm gonna eventually use it with the Raspberry Pi, which is why it's out here right now. But there's basically the same thing, but newer, and it has a USB interface, which is nice because now I can channel it straight in through USB. And you'd think it would come in without noise, but no, that's not the case. So, that being said, so Ray Session, yeah, it's basically a management tool to manage all those nodes and routes. What I kind of want to do today, because I have a lot of sound devices, so audio adapter is actually this guy. Audio adapter here, mono, is this guy. Oh wait, you can't see me. Fuck. You know what? Hang on. I'm an idiot. Let me just actually hang on a second here. How do I want to do this? Ah, fuck it. You know what? What the fudge? I think. Oh, there it is. Oh yeah. No problem. All right. Just make this a little smaller so you don't have to stare at my big face. That's some belchy gas there. All right, cool. All right, so we'll just go. We'll pop this full screen, and all right. So the TU-106 high definition audio controller. That's the HDMI running off of the RTX, off of the NVIDIA card. And so what we can actually do is I can actually send an audio output from one of these outs. I can actually send it, not here, actually, I have to go over to this side and send it over to the playback. This is a sync. The other one is a source. It's a source because it's a monitor of the sync. So basically, everything that you send there will actually come out of the monitor, so you can do some fancy loop backs and shit like that. But we'll get into all that fun stuff later. We're not going to be using the audio adapter here, so this is actually using up a little bit of memory and also uh, an assignment. So you know what? Might as well just kill it because we're not going to use it. I have this deactivated when I'm using this guy. I use this and this playing GTA sometimes because I'll have this coming through the game for the in-game voice chat, and then you know, and I'll have that set for push to talk, so that way they don't hear me jabbering on while I'm on the stream, live. So anyway, and then the family 17H, 19H HD audio controller. That's just your standard vanilla onboard audio system. So that has, of course, again, a monitor for whatever you're sending to the output, which is the playback, and that'll come out of the monitor. But family comes with something else, does it? No. Did it? No. Did it? No. I don't think it does. No. Good. Okay. Fantastic. I'm glad we sorted that out. It can, though. It depends on how you have the card configured, because you can have it configured for duplex playback and recording, which is like full duplex means it can record and play simultaneously. And then so capture mono, of course. Anything with capture in it usually means that it's capturing sound, which in 9 times out of 10 is a microphone. 9 times out of 10 is a microphone, but not always. I mean, it can be a synthesizer or something else along those lines, or output from another thing. But anyway, let's see what else we got here. We even have audio outputs coming from the cameras. Sport Cam has a mono output. The C922 has a stereo output, and of course, like I said, they obviously don't have playback. What I've gone and done is I've created a couple of interim nodes. OBS desk, OBS mic, OBS aux, OBS guest. Yes, there's 4 of them. Then there's only 3 inputs. Let's set that stereo to you. Let's set that stereo to you. Oh yeah, I'm covering up what I just did with my stupid face. God dang it. All right, so there we go. I just kind of wired things up. Oh, is this thing hanging over the edge of the? There we go. There you go. Now you can see. All I did was I just paired these guys up. These were separate mono inputs for some reason, so I just had to pair them up and turn them into stereo ones. Just do it like this, what is it here? Go like this. What? Piss off. This one. Where is it? Huh. Oh wait, do it here? Split the monos. So it was looking like that, and then all you do is you come down here, set stereo with that. I don't use it a whole lot because I'm lazy, but can't be lazy if I'm talking about it with you guys. So if we were to switch back over to main screen, you'll see here, these are the 3 that we're working with: desktop audio 2, microphone, auxiliary 1, and what we got here. Whoa, that one. So basically, you're looking at the same kind of a thing. If we were to kind of, let's just zoom in a bit. So yeah, so we got basically 1, 2, 3 inputs. It just so happens to line up this time that the top one is audio, the middle one is audio 2 for desktop audio, and then the bottom one is microphone auxiliary. Now, when I use, I'm going to go back. Hang on. I'm just about to change the subject, but before I do, let's get that other page back up. Okay, so what we got also is along the top, we've got monitor one, my second monitor in the middle, and that's my third monitor on the right. Um, the two outside ones, they're 1080p. The middle one is at 720 because it's an older Sharp TV. All three of these are TVs. This one is actually a store display, one of those fancy TVs that that are programmable, like for like store POPs and shit like that. We were renovating a wireless wave store a couple of years back, and with the company I was working construction with, and yeah, we were demoing the place, and they wanted to throw everything out, including all the TVs, everything. I was like, "Fuck that! I'll take it," and I got myself a free Samsung, so it can listen to me and spy on me. It's not really a smart TV because it's missing some of the smart stuff. It was pretty much the bottom of the pile for the fancy shit. But where's my cigarettes? There we go. Middle one obviously is, you know, that's that's the one I typically use. That's the Sharp. Like I said, it's at 720, but I typically use it to have OBS like right in the middle between the two bigger displays, and then the third display, which is on the right. Yeah, I keep thinking that you guys can see it change color because I'm clicking on them and they're changing color, but they're not. Anyway, so yeah, the third one on the top, that particular TV, the actual TV itself, has got a damaged LCD. It's got some lines and a couple of squares. So I've got a plan to actually do a video where I'm just going to take it apart and attempt to fix that. So that'll be fun. I never did get to it, so it's still something to do. Now, in the second row, do you see two more windows? Those are actually, I'm using remote login to log into my laptop, which is my MSI Leopard Pro. On the left, that's a laptop, and the one on the right is my Raspberry Pi. If I shake them, you can see that, right? So that's the Raspberry Pi. That's the Leopard Pro, and because I'm rocking with VNC, I can have it all, like, basically I can control everything in one place. That's kind of why I did it. And like I said, that's the right monitor, that's the middle monitor, the Sharp, and that's the left monitor. So the outside ones are both Samsungs. This one's the fancy store POP TV. This one's a piece of shit I found on the side of the road, and I'm gonna fix it. And this here is cool. This is the jack mixer. Now you can configure it in any kind of way you like. Hang on a second here. Let's get this other bastard out of my way. So yeah, you can configure it. And this, by the way, is completely and intuitively linked to anything that you're doing in here. Because basically what you're looking at here is you're basically looking at an analog of, like, this bar here in the middle, this little longer one. Wait, hang on. This guy, that's your mixer inputs and outputs that you see right here. When I say see here, I mean see here. But this damn thing's in the way again. So I hope that wasn't too confusing. Just kind of wanted to give you a little bit of a overview of what we're working with. And since we're dealing with the audio here, I'm going to be doing some coding, I think. I got to go into Pipewire. I got to read some shit. So this is going to be one of those boring, laid-back, nerdy podcasts. And every so often, I'll be, I'll be promoting the idea of purchasing my services and my wares. But today, like I said, is more of an introduction. I'm not going to get into that so much. I want to kind of see how tonight goes. I want to see if what kind of feedback we get from the communities, and I have a sales guy that I'm trying to groom him for sales, and hopefully um, we can work together, and he can set up a team or something, and we can kind of just go balls to the walls with these streams, and you know, help you guys with whatever issues you got, and you know, satisfy those dependencies you got for web hosting. And yeah, we also have a pretty sweet deal where we can transfer your domain name over to us as well as extend you for a year. So um, yeah, don't feel like you have to be locked into a particular registrar or to a particular company, because the truth is, it really doesn't matter who's hosting you as long as you like them and they're good to you, and that's what we want to be. So, all right, where are we going to go from here? Oh, matches. Oh crap! There's no matches in there. There's no matches. Oh well, I got a match. My face and my ass. So I have a tendency to swear a lot, like a lot. So just you know, be mindful of that. If you hear any clipping, try and let me know roughly when you heard the clipping. If that's not working, god damn it, I'll make it work. Okay, it'll work now. Oh, piece of shit. Filthy habit. Don't start playing with computers, because you'll just be antisocial forever. Made a poor man's. Oh, you can't see it because I'm hiding behind everything else. I made a poor man's bush Zippo out of an aluminum tube. Pretty cool, eh? Yeah, I build lots of stuff. In fact, I recently started taking up bow building, like bow and arrow, and that's going well. I've learned how to make natural glue from rawhide. I've learned how to make well how to you know how to make archery strings, fairly a few different varieties of techniques, and yeah, carving out bows out of wood, and learning a lot of the artisanry of it. Artisan, artistry. It's a bit of both, I guess. Anyway, yeah, I hope this will be a different change of pace for me, because usually I'm always just trying to be funny and find something interesting that we want to talk about, or that I want to talk about. But yeah, this is basically what I'm about to be doing is what I pretty much do all the time. But we're going to be building our OBS scenes as we go. All of this, like all of these pictures, like all these sources, I mean, that are represented by these pictures are basically sources and part of a scene. And the scene, you have different scenes in OBS, which is Open Broadcaster Software, if you're not familiar. And I'll be going over all of that probably later. I don't want to give you the overview of every damn little thing. We'll hit it in like chapters, I guess you could say. Every stream will go over something slightly different. But the main thing that we want to talk about today is going to be this pipewire business. This program here is called Ray Session, but there's a few others like it. There's Carla. There's one that begins with H. It's made by the same people who made Wayland. Wayland is like an audio video. It basically does the same thing that Pipewire does, but it does it differently, I guess. But it's more or less linked. Yeah, it's more or less linked to the to like directly linked to the operating, not the operating system. Sorry, but the yeah, the operating system. Sorry, my brain's trying to jump ahead too many steps here. So right now we're just looking at left monitor, which is blown up. So let's fit that to the screen because I don't know why that's like 500 times the size it's supposed to be. So we'll just kind of make it fit the screen like that. And do you play game? Jaden12234 says. D live, oh D live, D live. Hey, shout out. We're doing a tech stream right now, but yes, I do play video games. I might even play a game later on this stream. I'm not sure yet, but I usually play EVE Online or Grand Theft Auto 5. So stand by. We will be playing later tonight for damn sure, but maybe even on this stream because I'll be testing out whether or not the graphic system breaks down. Oh yeah, you're tunneling all the way away. Skip this part. But it appears, yeah, we're live on Odyssey, like I was saying. Oh, we don't need that.
Human beings are now in such a state of like hyper.
We'll get rid of that. I'm not sure what video it said wasn't there, but I think I was watching one of mine. Did they take one of my videos down? I hope not. And let's see here. We're supposed to be playing on LinkedIn, but I'm not sure where that shows up. Oh, right here. Shows up when it comes to my channel. Oh, I mean, to my profile, I mean. Oh, I see. Well, I'll just not do that. Hopefully that doesn't echo. Cool. So at least I know that works. Is anybody watching? Doesn't look like it. Yeah, let's go check out Twitch. Let's see what's going on over there. I don't want to have video playing on these pages because, believe it or not, that's going to affect your up and download bandwidth and your speeds because if you're playing back video that you're receiving, that's your download bandwidth, which is important to a degree, but it also ties up your computer's processor. So your browsers, if they're all playing fucking videos, I mean, you're going to be losing, you're going to be losing CPU slices. And if you're in the middle of streaming, you want every last, what do they call that? You want every last flop that you can get. Flop is basically an instruction. It's an instruction set within I don't know, what is it, a cycle, a single computer cycle. So in a cycle, a computer can read or it can write, basically. So if you have like something that does like a teraflop, that's 1,000 flops. That's 1,000 cycles. All right, so we're just going to get out of those so that we don't have the space initialized for videos. And we just know it's working now, which is pretty cool. And let's see. What else? Twitch. Piss. I got to log in again. It's going to play sound? Of course it is, you bastard. It defaults to the sound on. Okay, so that looks like it's working. Let's go check out I want to see how it comes up on Twitter. Sure, continue as me. So I guess if I go to my profile, right? Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, fantastic. 0 viewers. Donuts. And let's see. I want to go to here and then go to the chat. I don't want that to fucking play. Oh, shut up. Go away. There we go. Stop. Alrighty then. Looks like we lost those chats there. All right. Anyway. All right. So that all works good, fine and dandy. We're going to be doing something different next week. I'm going to be setting up the Raspberry Pi to run a 24-hour stream. So what it's going to do is basically kind of have like a back loop, which will just kind of cycle through whatever is in the itinerary or the programming and whatever I put into it. So whatever, you know, it could be anything. I could put in podcasts. I could put in other material, so maybe behind the scenes, whatever, like a bunch of stuff. Just have it playing on a cycle, and have it so that all I have to do is interject. I could just basically stream to it from my other machine, like from the one I'm streaming from now, and it'll just cut in and just take over the stream, and then as soon as I'm finished, it'll just revert back to the programming as scheduled. And it's I'm confident it'll be a good way to go, because then if we have that set up that way, then we'd be able to incorporate a lot more things, like remote setups, remote guests, things like that. We can kind of have a little bit more granular control over it. But I don't even know what I'm talking about. I gotta see I gotta play with it. See, I'm a hands-on person. I could sit there and read till I'm blue in the face, and unless something really jumps out at me and I go aha, then no. Usually it's I gotta explode it first. All right, so let's go to this main screen here. Let's just add ourselves a personality, well, or a lack thereof, depending on who you are. And let's see here. What else interesting could we put on? Window capture. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll have. What are we going to be using here? I'm just trying to think of what we're going to use. We're just going to be using pipe wire. So we'll get the jack mixer. We'll get hard info. We don't really need that, do we? No. All right, so we'll get Ray Session, and we'll get the other thing in here. Where are you? There you are. Ray Session, Ray Session. That's one of the more clever names, actually. Ray Session as opposed to Recession. Very punny. I don't understand the humor, but I like it. But, all right, so it's funny because when I go like this, that'll go like that. When I go like this, it'll go back like that. That's kind of cool. I just went and full screened it on my other machine. And what I could do, which I do on the Truth Hurts podcast, if you've noticed, I don't know if you've noticed, but what I like to do is just give you a little bit of etherealness. Go like this, left, like this, and we just go really tiny like this. Kick it over here to the corner, but it's actually the left monitor, and then we can add another one. No. Mm. And then I don't know. Then you guys can kind of have like a bit of a feel for like what I'm seeing, because like I'm if you're watching one monitor, I'm probably working on another one. That's usually how it goes. And let's get the right one now. Screen capture. Right. There we are. There we are. Yeah, actually, it's kind of funny because Pipewire, its history is kind of sorted. If some of you people that eventually watch this, I don't know who's watching it now, but you might remember back in 2014, I was playing around with Jack Audio System, and it was really good, but it just hadn't really come through yet, like in terms of its scope and what it wanted to do. I mean, it did what it did well. It did what it did well, and it did work. But I mean, I never really settled on it. And then I don't know, last year, the year before, I'm not sure exactly now. It's been a while, but I started using it actually exclusively. I started using Pipewire exclusively last year. They eventually had a Jack Audio drop-in replacement, which was kind of neat, because you could basically install Pipewire and then install the Jack Audio drop-in, which really is just a placeholder. The code is actually in Pipewire already, and what you're doing is literally uninstalling Jack Audio, and Pipewire is just pretending to be Jack Audio to the rest of the system that's expecting it, and other programs that are expecting it. And it does the same with Pulse Audio and with ALSA. Now, if you're not a Linux person, if you're not a Linux person and your Mac or your PC, what I'm saying is probably useless to you. But ALSA is basically the hardware level of the sound devices on your system, and ALSA is like basically like it's the enumerator, it's the manager. Like it'll send the actual requests that it receives to the devices, and then dispatch what it gets back from them. The Pulse Audio it does the same thing as Jack does, but differently. Like it just has a different style, a different application. And the thing is, and because it does it differently than Jack Audio, there's a limitation with Jack that you can only run one USB sound device with Jack Audio. Now, with Pulse Audio, you can run all of them, but then not with Jack, because then Jack is just going to want to use the one. So to get around that, there's a couple fancy tricks. They've made a few bridges that kind of fall in between, and then lo and behold, Pipewire comes out and just smashes that whole thing to bits. You got everything across the board available. Not everything worked at first because it was a bit of a crapshoot. A lot of stuff worked, but then a lot of stuff didn't, right? But it's getting really good now. My issues now are just most of it's just operator error. Like I have a complex system, I require a complex configuration, and I'm not complex. I have a complex, but I'm not one. Anyway, let's see here what we got. Just want to see if we got any. So, yeah, I guess I should talk about that. I just reminded myself. The with the hosting and domain name services, what I'm thinking of doing is I'm going to be giving away a free hosting package. It'll be a business hosting package. You can do whatever the hell you want with, and I'll even register a domain for you, and it'll be good for 1 year. And you can keep the name, or or sell it for coof shots. I don't care. But whatever. Let's see what else. Okay, I'm just gonna go find a few articles here. I might as well pull up. Even though you can see this, the left screen there, I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger since that's what I'm gonna be using to kind of browse. So I'm gonna stick it down here. Or actually, I'll stick this down here. I want to get organized, eh? Get my shit together. There we go. Well, I just moved the same freaking window up back. I meant to grab that one. Good enough for the girls I know. I know. Good enough for the girls I know. All right, there we go. There's no reason for that to be bigger than anything else. Ray session can be a pain in the ass. It's like I said, it works with pipe wire, but it can be quirky. Like it's not buggy per se, but if your system's buggy, it'll respond in a buggy fashion for sure, for sure. Carla was just as bad though. So let's go look up pipe wire configuration. It's probably going to be one of these ones that are coming up purple because I've already been there. So that's pipe wire. Pipe wire. Which one did I go to? I think this is the one I want because this is the one with the Arch Wiki. I guess I can make that bigger so you guys can at least kind of. Yeah, I'm doing it for me. Okay, I know you caught me. But all right. Pipe wire. I read that already. Oh, cheers. Getting tired. I've been awake for a while. Installation session energy. All right. So profiles. What are they? How do these work? We're using on the server some pulse audio and jack. It aims to replace both pulse audio and jack by providing pulse audio compatible server implementation and ABI compatible libraries for jack clients. Hey, I just said that in layman's terms. Also clients. Trust me, I'm quite the layman. Install pipe wire. Oh, God. Oh. Yawning. F was that? Oh, oh my! What's the date? What's the date today? Well, I shoot. Oh my. Hmm. Okay, sorry for the late pause there. No, Sean McGuire, he's a radio host from Ireland. He does the Wednesday Out of the Bag show on EPGN Radio that you can find on our website at radio.epgn.ch/listen, and he's on at 1 o'clock on Wednesdays. Now, he presented himself in court, well, yesterday by now standards, but I hope everything went well for him. It was a make it or break it case, so I will have to follow up on that. I didn't realize that was yesterday. Shoot, I wanted to talk to him before that. Fudge Dudge. I'm I'm a bad manager. I hope we get a chance to talk to him again. Anyway, enough about that for now. See, the problem that I'm having, and let me explain it, is that if we look at Pipewire here and bring it forward a bit here, let's just get this let's just get it full screen here, and pop me up on here. And all right, so watch what happens when I'm gonna go over to I'll go to YouTube or some bullshit. Mm. Let's go see what that Star Wars girl is talking about.
What's up, all me Wookstables, droids, and Wookiees? It's Anna, also the Star Wars girl.
Did you
and
see that?
Today we are going to talk about Obi.
Did you guys see that? Did you spot it? Right here. So it pops in, it gets created, and it automatically jumps over the fucking mixer and lands into auxiliary, which is okay. That's fine because I told it to do that because I can't get it to go into the mixer by default. So then it comes out the auxiliaries monitor, and then I got it going into the satellite input, and then that comes in and it gets mixed, and then it goes out to all the different places, right? But the microphones, especially, so I got that handled now, and it works 90% of the time, 100% of the time, and the whole problem I'm having now is just with the microphones. So if let's see here, I wonder if I can trick it. I could crash OBS right now with this silly move, but I'm gonna go to settings. I'm gonna go to audio. I'm gonna say default, and I'm gonna click OK. And actually, no, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that's the one that's turned off. Okay, so I'm going to apply. Boom. See that? See what it did there? Oh, I don't know if you did or not. Yeah, you did. Okay, good. Yeah, see? So the audio adapter went all the way straight to the OBS. Now we just told it to do that, right? But what other funniness happened here? What else happened here? Oh, OBS mic monitor decided to go into both of the microphone inputs. Well, that's definitely not supposed to happen. See, that's new. All right. So what we can do here, we can just slice that out, get that out of there, piss off, right? And what I should do, in fact, what I'm going to do, since we're here doing this, and we're in the here and we're in the now, what we're gonna do is I'm going to, so you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm gonna basically switch over to the right screen. Whoopsie daisy. All right. And we are going to create, I got this set as mics. I'm going to change that. I'm going to edit the input channel mics. I'm just going to call it mic 1. And we're going to say new input channel. Call this one mic 2. And when I do that, you'll see it'll update down here too. So I'm just going to say, no, mic 2 is going to be mono. And I can't remember what this means. I used to work like in studios, like brick and mortar studios, and do recordings and stuff like that. And I remember I'm partially dyslexic or something because like I always kind of get things kind of flipped around, like weird logic circuits in my brain. Ah, well, probably too much drugs. Who knows? But let's see here. Add. All right, so now that's in there. First thing I'm gonna do is let's shrink those channels because it sucks. We're gonna follow the same pattern here, by the way. So we don't want to hear mics. We don't want to hear the mics coming out of my speakers because that would be bad. So we mute it. We don't want sound coming out of my headphones when I'm, because it's going to have feedback too. Why are we soloed on my, oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, we want to be soloed on the mics. And let's see here. Oh wait, no, that's not going to work. No, can't do that. Because now there's a second channel that we want to hear. It can't be solo because it's going to cut that one out. Okay. You can't have two solos, really. It doesn't work. I wonder who would shoot first then. Huh. Anyway, let's see here. That was a Star Wars joke, sorry. Boom, 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 bing, bong. What else we want here? We want, okay, so no mics. Okay, that's a good place to mute it. 2conf means conference software, whatever it is I'm using, it doesn't matter. It has an input and an output. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send as an output from my mixer. I'm going to send it to the conference. It's going to contain my microphone. It's going to contain whatever audio is being played back from whatever browsers or whatever programs are running, and yeah, that's it. People in the conference, their software, wherever they are sitting, is going to handle what they're hearing from the other people. I don't have to worry about that, but I do have to send in sounds that are in the stream that I want them to hear. I have to send those back in, and of course they have to hear me because it's the microphone, and if they don't hear me, it's not much of a conference, is it? So so that's how conference works. So that output basically, if you follow the green, it's going to basically, it's not going to contain the conference input, obviously, because then we'll have a feedback loop. It doesn't contain premix because that's just a isolated loopback that I've set up for adding effects and shit. Satellite is the whatever comes in from outside the regular stuff that we're using. So if I have like a browser open up and play YouTube, for instance, that's going to go into satellite. Full mix is going to be the output containing whatever came in through premix. So that's going to be muted as well. That's part of that isolated loopback I told you about. And yeah, so we're going to have mic 2 is also going to go through there as well. Now, stream out is a fancy little thingy majiggy, because what we've done there is I've actually sent that one out to, if you look here, it's not hooked up right now, but normally, oh, that was smart. I hit control instead of shift. I mean shift instead of control. I mean mouse button. I pushed the middle mouse button instead of scrolling it. Fuck, my mouth, my brain, ouch. OBS guest. Okay, so OBS guest would be, I forgot where that was coming from. It doesn't matter. OBS auxiliary. I don't even need these right now anyway, because at least I didn't murder OBS mic. But what we do with the stream out, that's going to go here. And then what I've gone and done is I've literally gone over to the TV that HDMI connects to. I've plugged in a headphone cable, not the actual headphones, but the headphone cable, ran the line from the TV to my laptop so that I could stream the audio from our live shows to the radio station over at radio.epgn.ch. Check it out for more information. But anyway, yeah, that's kind of a snazzy little thing. And like I said, like if we go, take that a step further, where's this guy here? If we go, fuck off. Windows repair day, you can suck my balls day. Network. And close. So if I wanted to do something, if I wanted to go load up butts here, BUTT, it's for broadcasting audio. And see, we got levels popping up. So if I really wanted to, I could just hit the go button right now, and you'd be able to hear the playback over on the radio station at radio.epgn.ch. I want to do a quick look, see if epgn.ch is showing up yet. Oh, critical error on the website. Yeah, right. That makes me cry. Well, that's what I wanted. Anyway, the other thing I was gonna do today, and I wasn't sure if I was gonna get into that with you guys right now, is this. There has been a critical error on this website. That's the master, like, epgn.ch site for, like, this has, like, everything. And I think I know what it is, actually, now. It's only it that's being affected, and I think it's probably PHP variable settings, but I'll have to look into that later. But so it's a pretty robust setup that I'm working with. So it's amazing when it works, because it likes to not work, and I spent a lot of time trying to make it work better, and Yeah, it's it's a process. And you know what else is a process? The fact that I'll be back here in about 5 minutes. I gotta go hit the little streamers room. Anyway, wish I had something loaded in I could put on for you, but I don't. You know what? Here, I'll tell you what. I'll go. I'll keep the Star Wars girl on for you. Oh, look at that! It didn't do the thing because of that thing that I killed. Remember? And I believe that would be no mics.
Why is it rated so low? And then you
Is it?
scroll
No.
down through the article, and it has absolutely nothing to do with reviews. But it has everything to do
Brave audio with
with
auxiliary,
like
auxiliary with a
who
satellite.
is allowed to watch
Satellite.
like, rated G or
We don't hear
PG. And so
shit.
I was like, all right, that's totally not clickbait at all. But then again, everything on the internet is clickbait, right? So if this article will actually scroll correctly, let me pull up where or how low for children the show is actually rated. All right, sorry about
See?
that. It
This
was
is
like
called
going
troubleshooting.
kind of crazy, and I wasn't able to
Let's.
control.
You
the
guys can
scroll.
hear that, eh?
Of course, when I'm going to film a
I
video,
can't
that's
hear
always
it.
what happens, right?
Oh,
That's always
that's
how
my
this
fault.
works. So here we go, right
Why
here.
can't I hear it?
Now it has been confirmed that the show, which is due to drop its first episode on Disney Plus on May 27th, 2022, has been granted the most family-friendly rating of any live-action
That's why.
Star Wars series
That's your problem,
on the
sir.
streamer. A recent report stated, or excuse me, shared,
This.
Disney
That's
Plus
the
UK
headphone.
has
It's not hooked up to
listed
shit.
Obi-Wan Kenobi series with TV age rating of 9+, which is notably lower than
yeah,
the
okay.
live-action
I wonder.
Star Wars
Where are
Disney
you?
Plus series that have come
Where are
before.
you hiding?
For reference, The Mandalorian
Why
was
the
rated
fuck are you all the way
14+,
up there?
while Book of Boba Fett was rated 12+.
Now I can hear it.
A story about Book of Boba Fett should not have been rated that low, but whatever. If they actually did it right. But anyways, Obi-Wan Kenobi's ratings is the same as Star Wars Visions, although it is
All right.
higher than both animated series
I'll be back.
in Clone Wars and the Bad Batch 6+. That depends on like what era of the Clone Wars. It got pretty dark. So I just wanted to, talk about this a little bit because I know like friends of mine that aren't like big Star Wars fans, they like brought this up. And like, oh, it's going to be like a kids show. And it's like, well, here's the thing. The Sound of Music, that's pretty much a kid's show, right? It's about a nun that goes and becomes a nanny and sings to all the children, then falls in love with the dad, and all of that stuff happens. But the thing about that movie, it's rated G. The Sound of Music is rated G. But the second that, they're having the ball and the dad, talks to the one guy who you find out is a Nazi, and I mean, it's pretty intense, but as a little kid, you might not get that, and as adults, you know exactly what's going on. The dad is getting pressured because they're in Austria right before Hitler takes over Austria and Germany, right? But right before World War II starts, and, the Axis powers and all of that. So, as adults watching The Sound of Music, we're like, oh shit, like this is a really intense scene. There's no bad words. There's no cursing. There's no actual violence. I feel like the only thing that you could consider violence in that movie is him tearing, the Nazi flag and then them running and hiding. But no one gets physically harmed in it. Obviously, there is the threat of dying because when they're trying to escape the Nazis and they're hiding where all the nuns are, in that cemetery behind in the back, it's scary because us as humans, us as adults, we know how terrible the Nazis were, and so it makes that scene more intense, but that movie is still rated G. So when you go into things like Star Wars and Nazi stormtroopers, like, come on, we know what George got a lot of, that influence in Star Wars from, and, George Lucas was a big history buff. He, put a lot of World War II and, the Vietnam War, and he took actual world history and put it into Star Wars and added that mythos. So you can have really intense scenes without technically, that kind of stuff like language or blood or physical violence happening. Now, obviously, in Star Wars, we're used to physical violence with the lightsaber fights because that's cool. I remember I was a little kid, and when Obi-Wan Kenobi shows up to, get General Grievous, and he's like, "Hello there," that iconic scene, like, we know what's going on. Even when I was a little, the first time anyone saw Darth Vader, I mean, that's the opening fucking scene of Star Wars, is Darth Vader walking in and strangling and killing everyone. So physical violence is a really, big part of Star Wars. But now that Disney's got it, they got to be all safe about it. Even it's like, really, let Dumbo's mom get tortured and like taken away from her kid, and we got her, got to watch animal cruelty and her getting whipped and stuff just for defending her baby. That's okay, but we can't have somebody get killed with lightsabers, especially bad guys. And I mean, heck, since they're stormtroopers now and not really clones for Obi-Wan Kenobi, it's like, so are you gonna have him kill droids? Like, what are you gonna do? This is part of Star Wars. And guess what? That everyone always fights with me. All the people that hate me on the internet, they're like, why are you talking about a kids show? And it's like, oh, it's a kids show, right? Yeah, that's their big defense. Star Wars is a kids show. Star Wars is a kids show. Oh, so all of killing, strangulation with the Force, violence, torture, getting limbs chopped off, that's for kids, right? Okay, so then that's the excuse that all those workers for Disney have used anytime they fight with me on Twitter, anytime all of those, weird little simps for Disney Star Wars come and go crazy. It's like, oh, stop talking about kids show, get a life. And it's like, I do have a life, isn't that funny? And I actually watch this shit, and I actually like this shit, whereas you guys aren't. You guys just know how to read Wikipedia, and you don't even read that. You just scroll through and like get the highlights. So it's like, well, if you want to say that you need to dumb it down because it's a kid's show, it's like, well, but you've been saying for years now, screaming at me online, that I'm defending a kid's show and I need to get a life. It's like, well, if it was always a kid's show, then it should. Then violence like that is okay.
That's hilarious. I was just talking about how I want to minimize the number of fuck ups, even though I can catch most things before they happen. And look at that. I just realized I didn't have the mic on. I've been sitting here fucking blathering for I don't know how long. Well, I know what I said. That's great. Fantastic. That'll be my little secret. Oh, jeez. Okay. Well, wouldn't be a tech show without a screw up. But anyway, what I was getting into saying after I finished the other thing I was saying was the I'm going to keep this down to about a 2-hour show tonight. But one of the things I was saying, I was laughing at, because I guess you must have saw me chuckle a few times. The I sidetracked myself and blah 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 blah, and I smoked a joint and blah 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 blah. But yeah, shit. See now, doesn't matter. Tomorrow, it's probably gonna be about 4 hours. I'm gonna be working on a bunch of the ads and maybe even kind of slap together a commercial or some kind of announcement or something. And these shows are going to be probably about 4 hours. They're going to be tech shows. They're going to be basically me in my element doing what I do. And I was just saying and laughing about it there. It was, is that I talk to myself and I coach myself through it as I go. And it's weird having you with me. It makes it no different for me. It's just now I'm processing in my mind what what it is I should or shouldn't be saying while I'm conveying what I'm doing, right? So it's like fuck. So that's gonna take some compute. That's gonna take some CPU slices out of my freaking brain. But we're gonna be having a promotion on the upcoming shows. Basically, yeah, I'm gonna have a giveaway. I'm gonna be giving away a business hosting account as well as it'll be a 1-year business hosting plan and the domain name, and I'll probably throw in a few perks here and there. I gotta see what I can move. I gotta see what I can smash together. But that aspect, absolutely. The business. I'm gonna have the business package. I believe it's the Ruby package on our site. If you go to echelonpublishers.com //get_hosting, go check it out. There's you can go view the packages there. They start at $6.99 a month. So it starts off cheap, and it's also a modular, so you can add components. You can add in. You can kind of it's like Lego, but it's cloud-based hosting, so it doesn't go down. It's pretty guaranteed for uptime, and it's also very scalable. So if you get you start getting issues with like too many people going to your site, because you don't want that, right? It'll spawn itself all over the place there, and make sure that it makes itself available to each and every one of the vapid minds of our outer world. Anyway, what else did I laugh about? Oh yeah, I almost said something controversial about LinkedIn while on LinkedIn site, and then I stopped because I said to myself, that would be a very poor way to make friends. Even though it was a comedic thing, it had nothing. There was no seriousness to it. I just was making a lewd comment, and it would have come off wrong. And I was like, okay, glad that didn't get said. So there's a kind of a double secret going on. But anyway, that's enough of that. Nah, I just had to smoke a joint there. arm's been cramping up like you wouldn't believe, and arthritis. Yeah, I just have it in my hands. Unfortunately, I use my hands all the damn time, and my hands are getting less good at what they do. Like they're just ow, and they don't pick things up properly, and they drop things sometimes. They do archery well though. They're still that kind of. I think that's kind of keeping them from like falling off. But yeah, the archery. I'll show you guys some archery. I have on my Robert J. Morris channel. I'll be doing some archery stuff. Hopefully, I can get back out to Beaverdale because yeah, I have enough space up there. I can shoot long, and it's I want to get some of that stuff. I want to get some of that on tape for sure. On tape. Was this friggin' 90s? Anyway, guys, yeah, it's 150. So tomorrow's show, I got to be talking to a sales guy that I'm kind of grooming for for sales. I don't know if I mentioned before. I think I mentioned to you before I exited and came back and rudely didn't turn the mic back on. But anyway, gonna kind of work with him and see what we can do to create like feedback kind of a system, so that way we can have an interactive force, taking care of your needs while I'm here doing this, and kind of have a abstraction layer. I don't know, is that even right? But yeah, so I'm gonna be looking at this pipe wire situation. I have a friend's phone that I have to hack because I had to replace the ROM, but now I have to put the IMEI number back in, so that's a thing. And in order to do that, I got to get the appropriate drivers to work on my MSI laptop, and I hate Windows. It can suck my balls. There's that. And crazy guy outside is just yelling. I guess you guys could probably hear the cars and shit going by, because I got my window open. I do that in the summers because I like the cool air is nice. It's like a stuffy fart in this friggin' apartment sometimes. It's the dog. She smells. It's not me at all. So, what time? I think what I'm gonna do. What's this? 2:15. I like the idea of starting at 11 to do the tech stream. I know it's late, guys. You can always catch it on the replay on Odyssey. If you're on Odyssey, on Rumble, it'll be there. I always post a replay, so it'll be there on Rumble too. And then on YouTube, it's there permanently. And here's the funny thing: is that okay, again, Rumble makes a copy of it, or sorry, uploads a copy of it to YouTube for me and puts it into all of my YouTube channels. So I get like multiple copies of the same video go across the board. But then, because I've also streamed it to YouTube and I've streamed it to Rumble, YouTube also uploads a copy of it to Rumble. So Rumble, I always get like a double of the video, but they end up in different channels, you see. So all right, whatever. Okay, fuck. Anyway, that's I don't know. I feel like I'm taking too much of the oxygen, if you know what I mean. But anyway, whatever. I don't know. I kind of feel bad about it, but it looks like too much of a headache to fix. It's just like I don't. Do I just turn off? But see, the thing is though, is if I didn't stream to Rumble, then I totally want that functionality from YouTube. And if I have to micromanage it every single time I do a goddamn video, then what's the point of having something in automated anyway if it doesn't do the task? I mean, come on. So I think I just keep it on, and they have to fix it. And if they want, they can delete my doubles. It's not like I have like all the time in the world. Anyway. You do what you love. You don't work a day in your life. but you also don't get paid, so it's like you don't work a day in your life. And goddamn it, I got to pay rent this month, and it's gonna get crazy. So this promotion is gonna be the drop my pants promotion, and I will be giving away a hosting package with including a domain name and a few extra little perks, probably a site builder or two, and we're doing it. And I don't know if there's going to be a frequency. I'm going to look at what I can do. I have to do some calculations, but I might have it. If I'm giving it away after a podcast, let's say a 4-hour podcast, somebody has to purchase something. I don't care if I make one sale. Somebody gets something for free. That's how I'm gonna run it. That way, if only one person gets it, it cancels itself out. There's no loss. That's how I look at it. And then if 2 people, then I'm okay. I'm making money now. That's how I'm thinking. Now, if you get to 5 people, maybe I'll be in the mood to give away a second one that evening. That's how I'm looking at it. So we'll see what kind of what kind of buzz, what kind of stuff we can do here. I gotta find interesting shit to work on. Like everything I have here is pretty boring stuff to fix for a tech stream. But I mean, hey, it's a process. I'm absolutely insane. Like I talk to myself. Like I said, like you'd think I was talking to you guys, detailing what I'm doing, but I actually just do that anyway. Like while I'm doing it, people think I have people over here. The people in my head think I have people over here. But anyway, enough of that. But yeah, Echelon Publishers Group. Now we're doing domain names. We're doing hosting, and we're doing it real cheap for the next month. But at least this week, though, we're doing the podcast giveaway. But we're doing it over the course of 4 hours, and somebody will get it. I don't know what the criteria is yet. We got to get people to watch. If no one's watching, then nobody's winning, so I don't have to worry about it. But I digress. Well, let's see what interesting crap we could do tomorrow. I'm gonna try and go back and actually take clips from this and put clips out. I got to do some actual marketing and some real fucking work. So there's that. All right, guys. You have a great rest of your evening here and on the North American side of things. And if it's nighttime where you are, anyway, and if it's daytime where you are, enjoy your day. And I almost wanted to do like a Daily Noonerino ending, but no. This was your EPG Tech Stream podcast, and we're offline.